Thank you, Camden, for those kind words. Our next presenter is Kailey Humason, is a member of the class of 2018 at Dartmouth High School. She is the captain of both fall and winter cheerleading, as well as the girls' tennis team. She is a member of the National Honor Society, student counselor, and the yearbook club. She is also very involved in the art department, and she is a talent artist herself. The love of art was an inspiration for her TED Talk. Choosing to participate in the TED Talk was a big decision for Kailey, who always had a fear of public speaking. But now, as a senior, she feels she has gained more confidence in herself and wants to not only prove something to herself, but also to inform people about a very important topic. Her topic is the social and emotional benefits of art and how it can help heal people. Please welcome Kailey Humason as she presents Art in the Heart.
When you walk into the Museum of Modern Art, you do not walk in alone. You walk in with thousands of people from all around the world that have come to New York City. And no, they don't all look like you, and they certainly don't all speak like you. So how is it that all of these diverse people from all ends of the world can come to this one place and speak the same exact language? Can't think of the answer? Art is fluent in every language. I can stare at this piece by Henri Matisse next to someone speaking only German and someone speaking only Mandarin, yet we could each have the same exact expression on our faces, emitting the same feelings of awe. And no, we can't talk to Matisse unless we could speak French or travel back in time, but we don't have to. We can just understand. We can all speak through paintbrush strokes. Give a preschooler a crayon, and what do? They can't write yet, so they take that crayon and they scribble all over that paper. They cover every square inch. They make it their masterpiece. They are not afraid to color outside the lines. This is my own little cousin, Juju. Our favorite thing to do together is color. The other day, she drew me, for example, she drew my two brothers, and she drew the sun about 8 times. She lets her creativity go wild, and she doesn't care what other people think about her art. Everyone is an artist. It's just that this love of art is not always cultivated. Why do we lose interest in something that we could do for hours, and I mean hours, as children? I hate when people say, I can't take art. I'm bad at it. Art is not about being good or bad, it's just about doing. There are so many benefits of young children participating in art. It aids in development and motor skills by learning how to hold a paintbrush or a pencil. According to the National Institute of Health, children should be able to cut and draw circles by the age of 3. Art helps with this. It also helps with language development. Children learn so many new vocabulary words like shapes or colors. It helps with emotional intelligence. They learn how to describe their art and the feelings that they get from it. It also helps with their visual spatial skills, which is the relationship between two objects in space through kneading clay or bending pipe cleaners. AP art is like a breath of fresh air after drowning in academics all day. Art is a stress reliever, and that's now scientifically proven. Professor Kailey conducted a study at Drexel University correlating stress relief in art. He measured cortisol levels, which is a biological indicator of stress, in patients before and after doing 45 minutes of some form of visual art. 75% had lower cortisol levels, meaning their stress was reduced. With all of these benefits, recently the career of art therapy has surfaced. Art therapy is a form of guided psychotherapy that encourages self-expression, as well as aiding in diagnosis. It's not just for stress. It also helps people with anxiety, depression, trauma, medical illness, or neurological disorders. Art therapy provides a safe environment with someone with extensive knowledge about the different mediums and materials that their patients are using. Megan Carlton is an art therapist at our very own Massachusetts General Hospital. She says, it's the process, not the product. She's worked with cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy, patients with Alzheimer's and dementia, as well as veterans suffering from PTSD. This was the cover of National Geographic in February of 2015. Their main article focused on how art therapy heals the wounds of United States soldiers that we cannot see, the psychological pain that they endure. More importantly, they focused on the National Intrepid Center of Excellence at Walter Reed National Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland. There, the leading art therapist, Melissa Walker, had her patients create masks. She explains how there's sometimes a convolution in the Broca's area of the brain, which controls language, that prevents people from speaking about trauma. Art therapy helps with this. These masks create an image far more complex than any high-tech neuroimaging machine. And by the end of 4 weeks, the veterans begin to talk. This is Marine Gunnery Sergeant Aaron Tam. Here he is photographed with his wife and 2 children. In the article, he explains how he masks his pain from his children every day. His mask shows a piece of his brain exposed, paralleling how it really was exposed overseas to more than 300 force blast explosions. And while you can't see the damage on his countless MRIs, he surely can feel it. This is Staff Sergeant Perry Hoffman, who served as a flight medic. He said, "I thought this was a joke. I wanted no part of it because number 1, I'm a man, and I don't like holding a dainty little paintbrush. Number 2, I'm not an artist. And number 3, I'm not in kindergarten. Well, I was ignorant and I was wrong because it's great." Sergeant Hoffman here is pictured with the medications he has to take on a daily basis. In the article, he discusses how sometimes he even has to set alarms to remind him to take a shower. His mask is half of the American flag and half of death's face. Don't we all have masks? Don't we each have things that people can't see, but we surely can feel? We can all depict these things through art. The art therapy movement also helps refugees. Imagine the horror of witnessing your friends and family get killed, your home get destroyed, and your life literally be torn apart right before your eyes. Children especially are affected deeply by this. It's hard for them to put in the words all of the horrors that they've endured. But sometimes art provides more clarity than words. There has especially been an increase in art therapy in Lebanon due to the many Syrian refugees seeking safety there. These children are having a difficult time assimilating in school, so many do art therapy. Some cope by drawing tanks and bloodshed, while others draw rainbows and flowers. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and art therapy gives these children voices when they cannot speak. I am not sick, I am broken, but I am happy to be alive as long as I can paint. Frida Kahlo. Frida is one of the most famous painters out there. If you don't know her story, here it is. She was diagnosed with polio at the age of 6. At 18, she was in a tragic bus crash where a steel pole impaled her, causing spinal and pelvic injuries. This is where she learned how to paint. She later married famed Mexican muralist Diego Rivera, but Frida's heart was broken after his many infidelities, including one with her own sister. She was heartbroken again and again and again after her multiple miscarriages. Frida never painted dreams. She painted her reality. She used symbols and motifs to express her meanings. Here, for example, the thorns represent the pain that she feels from her broken marriage. Frida took her heartbreak and she made it into something. In a way, she was her own art therapist. Art is proven to make you happier. Look at these 2 pieces. Just through looking at their vibrant colors and the happy symbols, you can instantly feel happier. Art is linked to gains in math, reading, critical thinking, and cognitive ability, and so much more. But the arts are slipping. Budgets have tightened and curriculums have expanded. Art is deemed as less important. My own mom is a Fall River elementary school teacher, and she recently told me that they cut art class down from twice a week to once. So my question is, when did this happen? When did we decide that calculus was more important to the curriculum than art? When did the hallways of the high school become so barren? When did we decide that we were not allowed to color outside the lines the same exact way we all did when we were children? Pablo Picasso said, "Art washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life." So I say to you, no matter how unartistic you think you may be, break this stigma that art is only for certain people and that it's unimportant. Dust off your soul. Thank you.